great I am. I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I am the king of the world.
Welcome to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you be notified when I drop that heat. This video is sponsored by my boy Fast Classic. This mixtape is in the description box. It is absolutely free. Definitely give him a download, give him a listen. And my boy Matt, definitely check his apparel out on IG at We All From. This is the official final minute breakdown and prediction video for Sergey Kovalev versus Anthony Yarde, going down in Sergey Kovalev's backyard. And for the people that's new to the channel, usually what I do with official breakdown and predictions is I'll break down the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters, and then I will go into what I think they should do to win the fight, and then I'll tell you who I think is going to win the fight and how I think the fight is going to actually go. Now, the thing about this fight is I approached it completely different, because all of the important things in the fight had nothing to do with film study. And let me explain. I waited to the last minute to do this official breakdown and prediction video for a couple of different things. I was looking for information. Number two, I wanted to watch the weigh-in and see how the guys looked. And then I wanted to do my film study. So basically, at the weigh-in, both of the guys looked pretty good. Anthony Yarde came in a little lighter than usual. You want to come in as close to the contracted weight of 175 as possible, but I mean, Anthony Yarde had to approach it a little bit different, strictly because he's in Kovalev's home country. So it'd be a whole lot of funny shit going on. You know, the scales and things like that. The scales don't be leveled right. Gervonta Davis had to go through that when he was in the UK, and the scale wasn't right, you know, so, and that was a big issue. So that's a common thing in boxing, unfortunately, especially if the promotion and the commission is not top notch. Now, Anthony Yarde looked pretty good. Sergey Kovalev looked good as well. He didn't look drained or anything like that. He looked good. He looked good. He didn't look like he was like 36 years old and he's just going to fall off a cliff. Like Sergey Kovalev looked like the normal Sergey Kovalev. Now, there's a couple things on each side that's going against each guy. I'm going to start with Anthony Yarde first. I know he was in an interview and he basically was saying that he doesn't do traditional sparring. Like, he just goes through different things with his actual trainer, and he doesn't do actual sparring. And I found that interesting for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I looked at it, I was like, okay, that's not a bad thing, because, you know, he's preserving his body. He's not really taking any shots in training. But then at the same time, I was just like, you have to literally practice your craft in order to perfect your craft. So it's kind of a fine line between the two. It's almost like in basketball, you're a shooter, but you'll say, okay, well, I don't really practice like real game situation shooting. And what I mean by that is you might just be in the gym by yourself and just be shooting around, no hand in your face or nothing, like you're just shooting, but you're not practicing real game action type situations. So for example, in basketball, when you're taking a jump shot, you might have a hand in your face. You know, when you're practicing, you're trying real game situations to simulate a hand in your face. You might have somebody in the gym with you. They might be holding a broom up, while you're trying to shoot. Or they might be hand checking you or forearm checking you while you're taking a shot. Or they might try to stand right under you as you're shooting. Like, give you different scenarios and different situations while you're shooting. But it's all a part of you perfecting your craft no matter what situation comes up. And with Anthony Yarde basically stating that he doesn't do actual sparring, I would say that's probably more bad than good, because there's no profession where, not actually practicing what you're going to do benefits you. The only benefit of not actually sparring is preserving your body. But you're in the fight business, you're in the hurt business. So you're only going to be able to preserve your body but so much. So that was concerning when I heard that. But I mean, if that's that man's style of training, then that's his style of training. I mean, you had guys like James Toney, my favorite fighter of all time. He didn't like to do any type of training outside of sparring. He didn't like to do road work, speed bag, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And you got guys like Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like, he practices all the time. Like, he spars all the time. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao spars all the time. So it's just a difference in training methods. But it's still concerning. It's still concerning. Him being a young fighter, 18 wins, 17 knockouts. He's never seen anybody like Sergey Kovalev before. He's never seen anybody like Sergey Kovalev. And as far as Sergey Kovalev is concerned, Sergey Kovalev is 36. He regained his title in his last fight. He looked real good, technically sound, didn't gas himself out. And if you wanted to say, or give a perfect time to catch a guy like Sergey Kovalev, now is about that time. He's 36. He's had multiple run-ins in terms of the law. He's had multiple run-ins. He had a situation with a girl on a plane. He got kicked off the flight. He also had a situation with another girl. I don't know if it was an Instagram girl or whatever. So he had that situation. And then he had charges brought up against him for another situation. So all of those things are not good going into a fight. And then on top of that, he was actually, he's actually doing his fight in his home country. And the last time he fought in his home country, which was a while ago against Isaac Chilemba, he won the fight, but he didn't look real impressive in that fight. He didn't look impressive in that fight at all. So he has the pressures of fighting in his home country. He's fighting father time and age. He's fighting legal issues, and then he's going up against a young guy that just don't know. Like, he's too young to be scared. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just another guy that's just young and he think he the shit. So you can't pull that intimidation factor on Anthony Yarde. If Anthony Yarde's going to be intimidated, it might be because of the atmosphere. But looking into the technicals on this fight is real simple. Range is going to be the key in this fight, and I'm going to tell you why. Sergey Kovalev needs to be on the outside. He either needs to be on the outside or he needs to be mid-range. He needs to be anything but inside. If he's mid-range or outside, he can get full extension on his shots. I don't like Kovalev when he's throwing short, compact shots. He's not getting full impact on his punches. When he's mid-range and outside, he's one of the best in the business. Point blank, period. He has a really, really good jab. He can control an entire fight with the jab if he stays consistent with it. And that's what he did in his last fight. I ain't see him look that good in a while, from beginning to end, including stamina and all that good stuff. So Sergey Kovalev, if he's mid-range or outside for most of the fight, then Sergey Kovalev is going to have a field day in there. Point blank. Now, as far as Anthony Yarde is concerned, he has to fight for a knockout or fight for a stoppage. Like, he can't go in there possibly expecting to get a decision in Russia. Like, Russia, just no disrespect. If I got any Russians listening to this, there's no disrespect to y'all, but listen, the Russians, they don't play fair, man. They don't play fair at all. Like, I mean, I'm in the U.S. I mean, the Russians, they broke into our presidential elections. I mean, shit. You think they gonna give Anthony Yarde a decision? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Yarde has to go in to set up a stoppage or a knockout. Like, he's literally gonna have to knock out Sergey Kovalev. Like, I think the referee will let Sergey Kovalev damn near die before he actually stops the fight. So for Anthony Yarde, he actually needs to get inside. He needs to get inside. He needs to use his youth, his physical strength, and he just needs to use his mass and his size to impose on Sergey Kovalev. Now, Sergey Kovalev is probably the stronger puncher, no doubt about it. But Anthony Yarde looks like he's physically stronger than Sergey Kovalev. So Anthony Yarde needs to really go in there, and he needs to get on the inside, and he needs to work the body consistently. I mean, from round one on. But he has to be defensively responsible enough to not be trading body shots for head shots. He needs to get to Kovalev's body early and often. And anything outside of a body shot, if he's on the outside, he just needs to throw a jab. He needs to throw a jab and move if he's not on the inside. That check left hook that he throws, he's not going to be able to do that shit against Kovalev. That's walking right into Kovalev's hands. He don't want to throw that lead check hook because that's going to get him countered and it's going to get him knocked the fuck out. Range is going to be the key in this fight. I guarantee it. This is a very, very exciting fight. I think this has Fight of the Year written on it. And I'm going to make my prediction. I'm going to go with the upset. I think Anthony Yarde is going to get on the inside. I think he's going to throw body shots. And I think he's catching Sergey Kovalev at the right time, even though Sergey Kovalev looked good in his last fight. There's a sense of urgency for Anthony Yarde strictly because of where he's fighting. I'm predicting that Anthony Yarde is going to stop Sergey Kovalev in the 8th round. Yes, I said it. Anthony Yarde is going to upset Sergey Kovalev in his hometown. Round 8, stoppage for Anthony Yarde. And that Sergey Kovalev versus Canelo Alvarez is going to be out the window after today. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.